All right, so chapter 12 talks about inverse variation. So if y varies inversely as x, just means that when you multiply x and y together, you get the same answers each time. So for example, you have a problem that states that y varies inversely as x, and y is 4 and x is 7. So find x when y is 14. So the first part tells you that we can do one of these problems. We can multiply the first two numbers, divide by whatever other number we have, and then get our answer. So what does this mean? This means the following. So when I look at this particular problem, I know that 7 times 4 from our original example are the two numbers we're going to multiply on the left-hand side. We then say it equals x times 14 because y is 14. We then multiply that 7 and 4. We get 28. So 28 equals 14 times x. So in this case, x is going to be 2. So you're done. We're going to do a few more of these problems, and you'll see at the bottom of this page, same particular problems. And on the second page, same thing, 20 through 24. And then I've got a bonus problem there to complete. The last part is going to be talking about graphing these particular problems. So if it says graph the inverse variation equation, xy equals 8. So in this case, when we do this, we really just want to plug in some values of x like we would do in any other problem. So if we plug in our -4 into the problem, you're going to have -4 times y equals 8. When I divide each side by 4, I'm going to end up getting -2. So we just keep plugging in all of our values, and then what ends up happening when we graph these points is we get these two curved pieces. And what happens is we form what's called asymptotes. Asymptotes are those lines that we can't cross. So in this particular case, we have an x and y axis that can never be crossed. So our x-axis and y-axis are never crossed. So therefore we have these asymptotes, these invisible lines. So we have one problem or two to complete ourselves. So really what you're just going to have to do is you take a t-chart, and in this case we can plug in, I would just go with the same values I plugged in up on top. I'm going to plug in -4, -2, -1, 1, 2, 4. And you're going to plug in each of those values and find those y's. Then plot all those ordered pairs on the graph. And, all right, let me know if you have any questions.